Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie MACK, music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach one. Reporting live from the Dogon. Dogon is the homie MACK. Thumbs up, give me the likes. I need y'all to comment. I mean, y'all showing me love with the views, but I need y'all to interact with me. Let me know what you feel about the things I'm saying. If you think I'm bogus, let me know. If I'm tripping, if you're gleaning something from this, let me know that as well. Let's dialogue, let's talk. When they say conversation rules the nation. But yeah, thumbs up, give me the likes, like, share, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the love. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't gonna initially, this is a session of MACK Minutes. Initially I wasn't gonna speak on it, and it being Larry Elder's appearance on The Breakfast Club. The market seems kind of saturated. Everybody's talking about it, but it's a hot topic. So you know how that go. Let's see. So I listened to Larry Elder. First of all, let me say who Larry Elder is. Larry Elder he was a radio host. He had a radio show. Apparently, he has a star on the Walk of Fame. And currently, he is going to run. He's going to run on the Republican ticket to become president. Didn't think he would do that, but hey, maybe did he ever try that before? I don't think so. Yeah, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. He was on the Breakfast Club. By definition, a lot of people would consider Larry Elder a coon. What is a coon? Essentially, someone a black person who has leanings or sympathies that are analogous or parallel, line up with white supremacy, racist white folks. Listening to him talk, I think he's a very intelligent man. I thought he kept himself well composed. I think he had made a lot of good speaking points. Can't believe I'm saying this about Larry Elder. But he actually made some good points. You know, and I feel like a lot of times, if you don't, essentially as a black person, by default, you're supposed to vote Democrat. My thing is, so I'm a coon if I oppose the Democratic Party. I'm a coon if I ask questions. I want to say, what transformative politics or policies have we gotten with the Democratic Party within the past 15 years? I guess you could say the Obamacare, I forgot the technical name for it, but Obama, the healthcare, was it the healthcare bill? I can't remember. But the Obama situation, he definitely did help with that, but it wasn't exclusively for black people. It helps. There was nothing crafted out uniquely to the disposition of black people. And I haven't seen, maybe since the Civil Rights Act, Fair Housing Act, black people haven't really seen any transformative politics in this country. And I feel like I'm realizing more black people are starting to want to align with the Republican Party in the sense that, okay, we get it. A lot of y'all are racist. A lot of y'all are money hungry. But you guys will at least help us get jobs. Is that true or not? I don't know. But I've heard black Republicans speak like that the Republican Party is about self-determination, building, standing 10 toes down, building on up, picking yourself up by your bootstraps, even though we know that sounds good. But I think that a lot of black people feel like the Democratic Party has given us a lot of lip service, but nothing tangible, nothing palpable. And I think at the end of the day, whether you're a black Republican or a black Democrat, me personally, I'm not either. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. But if you're a black Republican or a black Democrat, I do think at the core of it all, you want what's best for black people. I do believe that. And it kind of reminds me of what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said a lot of times, black people, we all want liberation, but we fight one another over methodology and tactics. So instead of us being on the same page and figuring out how to liberate ourselves, we're literally fighting and arguing with each other. Like, no, we need to liberate ourselves like this. No, we need to liberate ourselves like that. So there's a disconnect, and there's a lot of dysfunction, and there's a lot of infighting, and that leads us nowhere. Let's see. Essentially, I do feel like Larry Elder cares about black people. I do. Some people may shake their head hearing me say that. But it just felt like the Breakfast Club, like they didn't really make any good counter arguments to what he was saying, you know. And I like the way he didn't allow himself to get enraged. He didn't act out of character. He was disrespected. I mean, the man's 71 years old, I think. I believe he's in his 70s. And there was a black lady that was on the show. I can't recall her name. Very brilliant, bright, intelligent woman. But the way that she came at him was very cantankerous. It was very bellicose. It was just very aggressive. I didn't really feel like she wanted to have a sound conversation, a progressive conversation. I just felt like there was a lot of anger. There's a lot of ire in the things she was saying. But I get it though, because you just get tired of the BS. You're tired of black faces that's supposed to represent us, but do their bidding to white people with a lot of money and resources. So I can understand why she had the disposition that she had, but I just felt like, you know, she cut him off, she wouldn't let him talk, and I think it took away from the conversation. I thought that there could have been more balance in the conversation, but I think Larry Elder carried himself well. He carried himself well. He definitely stayed well composed. I'm not fully convinced that the Republican Party is gonna save us. So, but I will say this: Larry Elder made some good points. A lot of these impoverished, dilapidated school systems, dilapidated communities, weak infrastructure, they're led by Democrats. Notably Baltimore. He said Baltimore, New York, and a couple of other cities. But why is it that these Democratic-led cities are so poor? Why are these Democratic-led cities, the crime rate is so bad, the incarceration rate is so bad? And at the end of the day, I do kind of feel like left wing, right wing is the same bird. I don't really think any party really has our best interests at heart. Maybe I'm cynical. But I do feel like this. Us as black people, we have to make Democrats work for our vote. We have to get something. And I remember Kamala Harris saying, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. And then you had Joe Biden say, if you don't vote for me, I'm not black. It's like, really, dude? How presumptuous is that? How arrogant is that? I just feel like at the end of the day, politics yield to economics. And I think politicians are bought. And until black people collectively give these politicians an economic incentive to do our bidding, we're going to consistently get screwed. I do think that Larry Elder made some good points when he talked about, fatherless homes. And we all know the numbers. We know the numbers. We know that a lot of children struggle when there's no father in the home. They act out more in school. They're more likely to go to jail, things of that nature. And he brought up the fact that Democratic policy pretty much set in motion the whole phenomenon of black fathers not being in the household. He referenced Lyndon Baines Johnson. The welfare state actually started with FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He had the Social Security Act, which was pretty much supposed to be an undergirding for people to have more money when retirement age, when they get older. But the whole concept of food stamps, Section 8 welfare, things like that, that's LBJ. Or he had the notion was war on poverty. I think the premise was good. I just think it sucks that you said, okay, in order to get these government benefits, the man has to be out the home. So I get it. Like, I'm not even mad at black women for taking the money, because it's like, some of these brothers, they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And a lot of them felt like they couldn't even rely or depend on these men, on these black men, unfortunately. That's not to say that was the majority of the case, or that there weren't black men that were trying to do right, or that were doing right, for that matter. But overwhelmingly, for whatever reason, women took the money. And Larry Elder made a good point, how he said essentially that the government became the daddy, and the daddy was removed. So the black women in our community became overwhelmingly dependent on the government. So it fractured our homes, and we're still recovering from that. You add that in, and then a decade left, what in the 80s, crack epidemic kicks off, and so it's like a perfect storm. I'm not going to sit here, but the main thing that I did like, and at first I was upset when he said this. Larry Elder had said something that pissed me off when he was like, I'm not worried about white people. And at times I was kind of figuring out like, where is he going with that? But then it hit me. He was essentially saying, look, they're going to do what they're going to do. What are we going to do to help ourselves? What are we going to do to build ourselves up? Now, granted, we have done things to help ourselves, and what happened? We have had white people come in and totally supplant it, totally deconstruct it, completely destroy it. But I think right now we've become really lax and dependent, and that mindset needs to be broken. We do need to look within, but there's just been so many years of just dysfunctional thinking, dysfunctional homes. There's like a mass spiritual, psychological, emotional healing that needs to take place with black people. How do we get there? I don't know. I really think at this point it's going to take an act of God. And I mean that. I'm not necessarily a Larry Elder. Well, not necessarily. I'm not a Larry Elder supporter. I don't really even know enough about him to support him. But I thought he handled Charlemagne well. I thought he carried himself well. Yeah. So what is we gonna do, black folks? What is we gonna do? I say that candidly, jokingly. We are the people that we're looking for. It's gonna take us. It's gonna take the community. We have to bring that trust back in one another. We have to bring that communal sense back. I just feel like we compete with each other. There's so many subcultures within the black community, identity politics. Somehow, there needs to be a change. And I think a 5%er had told me this a long time ago. He said, Maurice, it don't take much to, we know what we're going through. I know, like black people, we've been articulating our trauma and pain and the data and how things are subjective. We've been doing that for years. What's the plan to overcome it? And that's where I'm at. In itself, I just don't know. Let me say this. In the interview, Larry Elder made a good point when he talked about the economic situation. He was saying that we were in a better economic situation. I want to say like in the 40s or 50s. What do you say? 30s, 40s? I think maybe it was 40s. Than we are now, and I think a lot of that is because we've been too dependent on the government. So we do have to develop a mindset of self-determination. And he also made a good point. Like, racism was more overt, not a thing where, I just came in and they didn't want to serve me because I'm black. No, like you had people getting lynched and killed simply for being black. So I do think that we don't have it as bad as our ancestors did. The issue now is it's more psychological and even spiritual. I just hope that somehow we can find, black people, despite our identity politics, I really hope we get to the point where our blackness, that we can huddle around that and unite in the center of that and collectively move forward. Again, I hope I don't sound like I'm hopeless. I'm not trying to be hopeless, but it's a dire situation. Let me know what you feel about what I said. If you agree, disagree, let me know. It's the homie Mac. Each one, teach one, peace and love. Signing out from the Dogon. I'm back in school, so videos may not be as frequent, but I appreciate all the support. I'll make it happen. You know what it is. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Each one, teach one. I'm out.